So let's look at kind of the release timeline. So here's the timeline for J2EE or Java EE. Started off in 99, moved all the way down to our current state here of Java EE7 in 2013, Java EE8, which is coming real soon, 2016, 2017. And then basically around the 2001, 2003 timeframe, that's when everyone was just kind of fed up with enterprise Java beans and just didn't want to do it anymore. So that's when Spring 1.0 came out around 2004, because prior to that, EJBs were just horrible and no one wanted to use it anymore. So you came out with Spring 1, Spring 2, Spring 3, and so on. One thing that's interesting here is that the folks at Sun Microsystems at the time, before they were acquired by Oracle, at the time they realized that, whoa, what's this Spring thing? And whoa, why is everyone moving towards it? And why is everyone using it now? Mainly because of EJB. Folks were tired of EJB. So the folks at Sun actually went back and kind of re-engineered or rewrote EJB to make it simpler and make it easier to use. So that came around the 2006, 2009 timeframe. So effectively, by the time you made it to like Java EE6, they'd actually cleaned up the problems that they had with EJB and actually made it a little bit easier to use. So effectively the same thing as Spring. It has the inversion of control. It has dependency injection. So current day here, like Java EE7, you can really do everything that Spring can do with Java EE7. So you can do all the annotations, all the, no XML stuff, just like Spring. And it's really easy to do now. The only problem though is that they were just a little bit too late. And unfortunately, EJB just kind of has a bad name or a bad reputation. And also Spring has huge momentum, huge market share. So there's a lot of apps that are already out there written using Spring, and there's a lot more that are going to be created using Spring. So that's why Spring is very popular now, and kind of why it's still popular. It's a lightweight framework. It's simple, easy to use. And a lot of developers like it, and they basically ran away from the old days of EJB and J2EE. So that's kind of the big spiel. But really, now if you put both technologies side by side, you can do the same with either one. But again, the whole reputation thing and also the momentum thing. So as I mentioned, Spring is very popular. It has a lot of market share. It has a lot of projects written in it, and Spring is still in demand. It's the most sought after Java skill set by employers and recruiters. And this is really funny. I actually have a friend of mine. I used to work with him on a previous job. He's actually in the process now of interviewing for a new position. And I spoke with him last week, and he sent me a message and he said, hey, and this is his actual text message, says, man, everybody and their mama keeps asking me about Spring. You better get started on that Udemy course, LOL. And again, this is some American slang here. Everybody and their mama, meaning basically every recruiter he's talked to and every employer that he's interviewed with, they are asking him a good deal about Spring. So again, very good skill set for you to have on your resume. So you may have the question, what should you do? Should you learn Spring or should you learn Java EE? And my answer is that you should learn both. Right? The reason is because now you'll be flexible in the job market. And if you go on a job interview or you join a new project team, you'll be able to handle either one of them. And the really cool thing about it is that a lot of the skills are interchangeable, especially now since Spring and Java EE are kind of in line or in sync with their feature set. So once you learn how to do like MVC in one framework, then learning how to do MVC in another framework is similar. Implementing it is very similar between Java EE and also with Spring. So, I'd say learn both of them, and you'll learn Spring in this class for sure. I'll show you how to use Spring MVC. And also I'll show you how to hook all this into a database using Hibernate. And then I have a lot of other courses that cover some of the Java EE technologies like JSP, servlets, and JSF. If you wanted to go check out some of my other courses on learning those other Java EE technologies. But anyway, I say learn them both. You're a smart person, right? And it's easy to pick up on them once you learn one technology. It's easy to jump into the next technology. So anyways, I'd recommend picking up both of those technologies. So this kind of wraps up the video. I wanted to give you some motivation on why Spring, give you a little bit of background on the history of J2EE and kind of where Spring came into play. In the following videos, I'll give you a more formal discussion of Spring as far as the various components of the framework. And then, of course, we're going to start diving into writing code using Spring. So we have a lot of good things coming up here. I'll see you in the next video.